Hello again, welcome back to my tutorial on Minecraft modding using Forge. uh, Today we're going to cover how to do proxies. The next thing we're going to cover is how to create a creative tab, and then we're going to make a small simple test item to demonstrate how to do items. So let's get this thing started. The first thing we're going to focus on is how to do proxies. And you might be wondering to yourself, what is a proxy? Why do we need this? Well, a while back, there used to be only two types of there actually were at one time with Minecraft, there are two types of mods. One mod is the client type mod, and the other is server type mod. Well, this was kind of getting out of hand, so Mojang decided to combine both server and client on their end, which resulted in what is known as the combined client. So this made it easier to kind of combine both client and server side mods together, so you can run a mod on both client and server at the same time. This made stuff a lot easier, and that's where the proxy pattern comes in. The proxy pattern allows us to do initialization depending on what platform you're on. And with Minecraft, we can do this for loading stuff for both the client and the server. Now, you might be wondering yourself, why? Why do we need to do this? Well, certain stuff on the client does not necessarily need to be loaded on the server side. For example, OpenGL code, for example, is one thing that a server does not need to know about. And there might be a few things that the client doesn't need to know about. Let's say, for example, what if you have a special block that counts how many players are on a server, for example? That doesn't need to be on the client. So, let's get started. The first thing we're going to need is common proxy. This is basically the base class for both the server and the client proxy. And what it's going to contain is all the methods from the loader. So let's do it very simply by just using the magic of copy pasta. And we don't need we just re-edit these real fast. The reason why we're doing this is that we just need these methods. We don't need excuse me. We don't need the event loop because the loader methods are going to call these methods when we get done. So let's keep this blank for now. No, sorry. That was weird. Alright, moving on. Next we're going to create is client proxy. And this will extend our common proxy. Extends common proxy. Let's do the magic of Eclipse and bam. There we go. Okay, the next one is going to be our server proxy. And we're going to do the exact same thing. It's going to extend common proxy. And we're going to implement, like we did with client proxy, all the methods, so we'll be able to use it. Okay, there we go. Now that we have our friends here made, we're going to need to initialize them. And how we're going to do that is with a cited proxy annotation. So common proxy and proxy. So initialize this, we're going to need sided proxy and we need client side, which is going to be our com.my tutorial dot client proxy, and then we need the server side com.my tutorial dot server proxy. So depending on what side you're on, say if you're on client, it's going to initialize our proxy here to the client proxy. If it's going to be on the server side, it's going to use the server proxy on the proxy. So this effectively separates both the client from the server from each other when you're initializing stuff. So what do we do now? Well, let's call the similar methods from the proxy in these event handlers. Init post. Okay, there. Now we effectively have proxy set up, and we don't need this class anymore. It's completely gone. So what do we do now? I think the next thing we need to do is work on our CreativeTabs. So what we're going to do is add in a new package. And it's going to be called CreativeTabs. And we're going to create a new class. This is going to be a final class. So my CreativeTabs. There we go. The first thing we're going to do is create a public static tab. My tutorial. And it's going to need to be a CreativeTabs. And we're going to use the magic of Eclipse's Control-Shift-L to create the dependency. And now we need to create a method, a static method called create, and we're going to do tab my tutorial equals new CreativeTabs going to add in the string argument, and this is going to be my tutorial tab my tutorial, and for now we're going to return items dot apple. There we go. So let's go back to our common proxy, and we're going to initialize my CreativeTabs. So my CreativeTabs, and we're going to create it. There we go. So let's test this real fast. Gonna launch a lovely instance of Minecraft. also did a little editing to give us something to look at. Here's our small little base at spawn, so let's do E. And it looks like nothing blew up yet. That's a good sign. And let's go over here. And we have created a CreativeTab. You probably have noticed that it's in a kind of a weird name. We'll fix that later. So let's exit Minecraft real fast. Save and quit. And actually, let's fix that right now. Let's go to our project. The reason why it's that way is that we need to have a property file. And we need to do it here. We need assets. We need to use... That was weird. Let's go to loader. We're going to create a folder with tutorial name. There we go. And we're going to make, I think, a lang folder. Let me make sure we're fast. Let's look at one of my old other projects I'm working on. Let's play it safe. Asset. No. Yep, I was correct. Let's see here. Let's go back to Minecraft mods, my tutorial. Herp. Source code, resources, assets, my tutorial, lang. And we're going to create an us.lang. What this file is, it allows us to do naming. It allows us to name like given objects in Minecraft. Let's launch Minecraft for fast and get that ID. I know part of it is tab my tutorial, so and I'm going to make some sections on here for items and tiles, aka blocks. Okay, so let's go to our game real fast. We're going to go back to that Creative tab and figure out the ID. I kind of learned that this is the best way to do naming. For one, you're able to see the name of it, and number two, it's simple to look at. So my tutorial, and what we're going to call this is just, I don't know, tutorial. And I probably should drop the my because I'm sounding narcissistic. I'm just tired. Oh well. Let's save and quit. We're going to reload Minecraft and see if it works or not. You can do it, Minecraft. I believe in you. Please work. Okay. Yep, there we go. One thing I like about this, I've been playing around with modding since 1.6.4, and the property files make it super easy to edit names and to do something known as localization, which is extremely important. Oh well. Let's continue. Sorry about that, my mom came in. She's gonna do some stuff. Oh well, let's continue. For the next thing we're going to do, let's create a simple test item. And to do that, I'm going to reference one of my other projects because, for one, I'm still not used to how 1.8 handles stuff. But for right now, let's create our simple item. We're going to create another package, and it's going to be called items. We're going to create a new class called tutorial items. We're going to mark this final. And for now, we're going to do the stereotypical public static void create. Just for now. What we're going to do now is we're going to create simple tutorial item. It's not going to do much. And we're going to what am I doing? I'm getting tired. That's set his name to item tutorial. There we go. If you've done Minecraft tutorial pre 1.8, you might have noticed that I haven't did anything with setting a texture. We're going to cover that later because as of 1.8, Mojang has done a couple of changes. So, game registry, which is what we use to register almost everything in Minecraft. Register item. We're going to use our item tutorial, and we're going to use item tutorial. There we go. So we got it registered. But let's add one more method, static void set CreativeTabs. You might be wondering why I'm doing this. Well, CreativeTabs should be set after the item has been created. The reason being is that you have to create the creative tab separately. If you want to use one of your items as an icon for that creative tab, that's what I use with the apple, then you need to create it beforehand. So it kind of makes sense to do it after the fact. I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. My tabs.tab. There we go. I'm going to rename that class just to tutorial creative tabs in a sec. Actually, let's do that now. Using the magic of refactoring. There we go. So we have this class pretty much complete for the moment. Let's go back to our common proxy, and we're going to get tutorial items, and we're going to create it. And then after we create the tutorial creative tabs, we're going to do tutorial items.set creative tabs, and we've pretty much completed the item. So let's start our project real fast. Okay, now let's tutorial, and it's in there. Wait a minute, it's a block. I created an item. What's wrong with this? Well, the reason why it looks like a block is that, well, as of 1.8, Minecraft uses something known as model files, and what these model files does it includes stuff like block geometry and stuff like that. So you have to set up a model, and even though it looks like a block, if you look outside of it, it looks hilarious. The block is bigger than my body, because I'm Steve. Oh well. So how do we fix this? Well, it's getting late, and we're going to solve this tomorrow. Or should I say we're going to solve this in the next video. The next video is going to cover how to do Minecraft modeling, using the new model format, which if you're from 1.7, which is something that is pretty much new content. So until then, I will see you all later. Have a good day.